a skeletonized human arm and hand sticking out of a clump of undergrowth. Afterwards, Ernie thought how absurd it was that he had tiptoed forwards as though this was some fairy story and he was afraid to waken the sleeper in the forest. This wasn't like the forests of childhood, where playing and singing would echo through the trees and the dense foliage was touched with enchantment. This was a place where something unspeakably evil had happened. Murder. Most of the skeleton was there in the tangled scrub. With the detached, rational part of his mind, he wondered how long it had taken for the body to decompose to bones and whether animals had made off with the rest. Was it foxes or rats? Did they fight over the body? Did they tear it to shreds? How come nobody found it until now? Why him? Suddenly the hairs rose on the back of Ernie's neck, as though there was a shadowy figure watching the scene with him. Gloating. He spun round, checking every murky patch of foliage. No one. Slowly he turned back to the remains. Waffle was quiet now, spooked like him. A wave of crushing pity washed over Ernie. Wasn't it enough to kill the poor soul without dumping the corpse like this out in the open, exposed to the elements, at the mercy of scavengers? The ultimate indignity. Along with the pity, Ernie felt a surge of hatred so strong it nearly choked him. Jean's memorial was defiled, her magical kingdom polluted by something unspeakable. Bending down with shaking hands, he put the leash on a now subdued Waffle. Then he fumbled for his mobile. Chapter 1. Voice from the Grave. A misty Monday morning. Another bench. This time the back of Bromgrove Police Station, where D.I. Gilbert Markham sat enjoying a moment of tranquility. It was always like this at the start of a case, the need to fill himself with total stillness before the mayhem of the investigation took over. Markham felt almost as though he wasn't even breathing, almost as though he'd become part of some municipal phantasmagoria rather than a city of bricks and mortar. There in front of him was the blackened Victorian pile of the town hall. Behind that rose the ancient terraces of St. Chad's Cemetery on one side and Hollinggrove Park with its gentle contours on the other. A view as familiar to him as his own face, a view he had contemplated thousands of times before, and yet now by some mysterious alchemy subtly different. The alchemy of murder. In the stillness, Markham felt he was absorbing everything around him with clinical detachment, with no conscious thought at all. Observation, but no observer. A vibrant, alert, hyper-awareness. If he listened hard enough, he would hear voices pulsating through the landscape, pushing back the walls of time, the voices of those dunged with rotten death who cried out to be avenged. With one long last look, the D.I. got up and made his way round to the main entrance and the lift which would whisk him to CID. Early as it was, two familiar faces awaited him. D.S. George Noakes was sprawled across his workstation, wolfing down what looked like a McDonald's double sausage and egg McMuffin, watched by D.S. Kate Burton, of whose appalled expression he was happily oblivious. It was an amusing study in contrasts, the grizzled, frowsy veteran and the bright-as-a-button university graduate. Despite the DCI's best efforts, Markham had stubbornly resisted all attempts to prise George Noakes from his side. He couldn't do his job without the other's unvarnished honesty, common sense, and bloody-minded disregard for social conventions. It was as simple as that. Rarely, as they shared personal confidences, the D.I. knew that no man's metal rang as true as Noakes's, and that they somehow understood each other at a level beyond words. Wherever their investigations took them, whatever treacherous shoals and quicksands they had to navigate, he knew the DS had his back. Though hell should bar the way. The bizarrest bromance, Markham's teacher girlfriend Olivia Mullen was wont to chuckle.